Hi there! Welcome to Miss Ellie's Math Academy. In this video, I will teach you about integers and absolute value. So here's the table of contents. I will be covering 4 chapters with you today. What is absolute value, adding and subtracting an absolute value, multiplying and dividing an absolute value, and then we will end it with practice problems. So let's start off by knowing what absolute value is. Absolute value is the distance between two numbers on the number line. Since distance can only be positive, absolute value is always positive. So here are 2 examples. The absolute value of -6, following the rule, will change the number into a +6. The absolute value of 6 will just equal 6 because the number was positive in the first place and there's no need to change any other signs here. Knowing that rule, let's try adding and subtracting an absolute value. Here is a reminder. Although the number inside the absolute value symbol is negative, the number will change into a positive number. So here are 2 examples. The absolute value of -5 plus 5. That simplifies to 5 plus 5, and basic addition, that equals 10. The absolute value of -10 minus the absolute value of 10 will simplify to 10 minus 10, which simply equals 0. Now let's try multiplying and dividing an absolute value. Here is a reminder. Different signs will equal a negative number, while same signs will equal a positive number. So the absolute value of -9 times 6 will simplify to 9 times 6, and then it equals 54. The absolute value of -6 divided by the absolute value of 2 will simplify to 6 divided by 2, and it equals 3. Now let's try some practice problems. I want you to try these 4 questions on your own. They're all about adding and subtracting absolute values. When you finish answering them, unpause the video and check to see if your answers are correct. If you make a mistake, I want you to review what you got wrong and make sure you don't make that same mistake when you solve the next set of problems. So now I will begin to solve these out. The absolute value of 5 minus the absolute value of 7 simplifies to 5 minus 7, so the answer will be a -2. The absolute value of -3 plus the absolute value of -7 simplifies to 3 plus 7, and that equals 10. The absolute value of -8 minus the absolute value of -9. Now there's a lot of signs here and you might get confused. This is why you need to take things step by step. Let's solve each number individually. -8 will turn into 8, and the minus sign still goes down. And -9 will change into a +9, and then the entire question simplifies to 8 minus 9. It's so much simpler, and now you just have to do the subtracting integers, just like we did in the previous video. Then the answers will be -1. The last question is the absolute value of 4 plus the absolute value of 6. This one is easy because they're both positive numbers. All you have to do is add them, and the answer is 10. Now I want you to try these 4 questions. They're all about multiplying and dividing absolute values. So now I will begin to solve them. The absolute value of -54 divided by the absolute value of 9 simplifies to 54 divided by 9, and that equals 6. The absolute value of 8 divided by the absolute value of 4 equals 2. The absolute value of -8 times the absolute value of 9 simplifies to 8 times 9, and that equals 72. The absolute value of 5 times the absolute value of -7 simplifies to 5 times 7, and the answer will be 35. So here's a bonus question. I want to remind you that even if questions have an absolute value symbol in them, the answer won't always be positive, because like this question, there's a negative sign there. Now, I know this sounds very confusing, but we're just going to take things step by step and solve each one individually. Let's look at the absolute value number first. The absolute value of -10 will just equal 10. And we can't ignore that negative sign in front. We're going to bring that down as well. And if we put them together, the answer is -10. Easy, right? So this is the end of the lesson. If you have any questions, feel free to comment down below. Thank you for watching.